Hello and welcome to St. James's. Here we are and we're in the church, and I've just discovered, sadly, a wee dead bat, a little bat that was found in the church here. It was just lying dead on the carpet. I suspect I'm no bat expert, but it's a pipistrelle bat, our most common bat, and it's only a small wee thing. It's about 5 centimetres from the top of its head down to its rear. It's so tiny, but it's so beneficial. Lots of people don't like bats, but trust me, these are brilliant because they eat so many insects. And if you don't like midges, then bats are your friend. Now, here's a very curious thing. I wonder what a bat, Ogilby Castle, just outside Donna Manor, and a major exhibition taking place presently at the British Natural History Museum all help reveal. It's a very strange story, but let's go and find out. Here I am at Ogilby's Castle, Altnachree. This is the home of William and Adelaide Ogilby, who had 4 sons, 2 of whom sadly died in infancy. The oldest son, Claude, generously gave £1,000 to Donagheady Parish that enabled St. James's to be built. The other son, James, well known for his romance, was also a keen naturalist. And it's to his interest in nature I return now. Joy Ware wrote a fabulous book just a few years ago in which she shared an intriguing story. Here at the castle during a particularly cold winter spell where there was lots of snow around, the birds were struggling to get food. James was concerned. He asked his dad if he could use a vacant room at the top of the castle. In essence, as a giant bird table, he got some old trees, some fallen larches in the corners of the room for perches, and he put food and water out. There was lots of grain that was able to be put out, and he had lots of different sorts of birds, lots of finches, the green finches, the chaffinches, the linnets, the sparrows, robins, wrens. He had something like 250 to 300 birds safe and snug in this amazing room at the top of the castle. The food would go very rapidly, but all was not well because James was puzzled because he found one of the small birds lying dead with its skull smashed and its brains pecked out. It was a murder mystery, and he really wanted to find out who was responsible. He sat in a corner reading. Nothing happened. After lunch, he came back and he found another dead bird. He took up a position again, remaining until dark. And then Joy mentions at sunset he was alerted to a commotion in one of the trees where one of the great tits had a chaffinch at the back of its neck, forcing its head across a branch, and proceeded to peck it savagely at the base of the skull. Promptly James seized the bird and twisted its neck, and with the landing net caught its mate, which may or may not have been a culprit. He gave it the benefit of the doubt, and he threw it out of the window along with its dead mate to fend for itself. So murder at Altnachree Castle, and who was the culprit? The great it. Who would have expected that? The little bird that we have so often on our bird tables uses our wooden boxes that we put up on trees, and always seen as such a joy, actually has a dark side that we may never have imagined. Imagine my surprise when a couple of days later I opened an old piece of post I'd never got round to looking at, and there was an article in it on bizarre birds. It was talking about the new exhibition at the British Natural History Museum. And there I saw a picture of the great tit. So I looked to see what it said about it, and it says this: these highly intelligent birds can develop innovative behaviour to survive. In Hungary, during winter months when food is scarce, they can be found in caves hunting for hibernating pipistrelle bats. The birds home in on the bats' calls as they wake up, and once a bat is caught, peck at them with their robust pointed beaks. This behaviour has been observed for more than 10 years, suggesting it's not only passed between individuals, but also down through generations. Well, who would have thought of that? Astonishing. As we heard of the murder of Altnachree, now we're hearing of great tits entering caves to kill bats for food. Well, who would have imagined that? It's amazing. So James Ogilby and his bird table at Ogilby Castle and the Natural History Museum sharing about caves in Hungary and pipistrelle bats, together they all help reveal a darker side to that little bird that we see so frequently in our gardens, the great tit. So next time I see one of those little great tits, those little birds, I will think about James Ogilby. I'll be thinking about his wonderful bird table at the top of the castle and his intriguing encounters with wildlife. And I'll be thinking also about the little pipistrelle bat. Isn't it wonderful how we can make such connections here at St. James's? We have a mission mark to safeguard, to treasure God's creation. And we also have, I'm discovering, a real history here in Donagheady. Through the Ogilby family, we have a deep interest in the natural world. This important heritage is embedded in the life of the parish. It's a heritage that we recover and celebrate, as it only helps us appreciate and wonder at God's creation even more.